Imagine waking up tomorrow to find that everyone has disappeared. No cars on the streets, no voices around you, and the world you once knew is completely empty. What if, suddenly, you were the last person on Earth? How would you feel realizing that humanity is gone? How would you cope with the fear of being utterly alone, with no one to help, talk to, or trust? How would you survive? Where would you find food, water, shelter? What kind of challenges would you face when the silence becomes deafening, and solitude is your only companion? In this video, we will delve into every aspect of this terrifying reality, from the initial moments of shock and adjustment to the survival strategies needed to stay alive. We will explore together what it would be like to fight for sanity, basic needs, and, above all, hope. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. The first day begins with absolute emptiness. You walk through familiar streets, but there's not a soul in sight. The silence is so deep it's almost deafening. Your heart races, and a sense of fear and confusion takes over. What happened? Where is everyone? Questions flood your mind, but answers don't come. Panic starts to set in. What seemed like a nightmare is now your reality. In the beginning, the human mind struggles to comprehend what's happening. A mix of emotions arises, the terror of the unknown, the sadness for the loss of everything familiar, and, paradoxically, a sense of freedom. Suddenly, there are no rules, no schedules, no one to judge your actions. But this freedom comes with a price: extreme loneliness. The absolute isolation starts to take its toll. The human brain isn't designed to function without interaction. You find yourself talking to yourself, maybe even seeking comfort in imaginary dialogues. This is a natural defense mechanism against loneliness but can easily turn into despair. The feeling of being the last human alive on Earth starts to settle in, and the first day is just the beginning of a mental journey that could push you to the limits of sanity. Once you realize you are truly alone, the priority is clear: survival. The first hours are crucial. You need to find drinkable water. Without it, life becomes impossible in just a few days. Gas stations, supermarkets, and even parks might have bottled water or uncontaminated water sources. Remember, there's no one left to restock supplies, so every bottle might be your last. Next comes the search for food. You should prioritize non-perishable items, canned goods, granola bars, and anything that doesn't need refrigeration. But food runs out quickly, and without stable electricity, many products spoil. It's vital to quickly learn about edible plants, fishing and hunting techniques, and even how to store and preserve food for the future. Finding a safe shelter is the next step. Choose a place that offers protection from the weather, animals, and possible dangers. It could be an abandoned house, a building, or even a vehicle, but it should be easy to defend with escape routes. Survival, however, goes beyond the basics. Over time, understanding how energy systems work will be necessary. Solar panels, batteries, and even manual generators could become your new tools for ensuring light and warmth. Knowing how to use a communication radio could mean the difference between finding another person or remaining isolated forever. Remember, always be prepared to fix what breaks and to improvise with what you have on hand. Staying on the move is essential. Staying in one place could mean depleting resources quickly. Exploring new territories increases your chances of finding food, medicine, and essential supplies. It also helps you become familiar with your surroundings and identify potential dangers. Plan routes, always carry a backpack with essential items, and never stop looking for ways to ensure your tomorrow. After days and weeks of complete isolation, the reality of being the only living person begins to deeply affect your mind. Extreme loneliness is not just the absence of company, it's the absence of interaction, of human touch, of voices that remind you you're alive. Without someone to talk to or share experiences with, the fear of never seeing another human being again grows. Time, once marked by routines, work, and commitments, becomes an indefinite blur. Day and night lose meaning, and the perception of time begins to distort. The human mind, desperate for stimulation and connection, may start to create illusions. Auditory and visual hallucinations, hearing voices that don't exist, seeing people who are never there, become constant companions. Depression settles in like a persistent shadow, bringing dark thoughts and, sometimes, the desire to give up. And amidst all this, there arises a visceral desire to find any sign of life, a friendly voice, even if just for a moment. Sanity, at this point, begins to fragment, and keeping a grip on your mind becomes a daily battle. But even in this bleak scenario, there are strategies to protect mental health. Creating a daily routine, no matter how simple, can bring a sense of normalcy. Set times to wake up, eat, and explore, creating a cycle that helps maintain a sense of time. Keeping a diary, jotting down thoughts, emotions, and experiences, can serve as a way to vent and self-analyze, allowing you to organize your feelings and avoid being consumed by mental chaos. Learning new skills is also crucial. From survival techniques to learning to play an instrument or creating a new language, anything that challenges your mind and keeps your brain active. These activities not only help fill the time but also create a purpose, a goal to keep going. In a world where the only voice you can hear is your own, maintaining sanity is, without a doubt, the greatest test of strength you will face. Over time, survival becomes a matter of planning and strategy. Perishable foods run out quickly, so it's crucial to focus on long-lasting foods. Canned goods, grains, pasta, and dried foods are essential. They are easy to store and can provide sustenance for long periods. But that's not enough. You need to think about the future. Collecting seeds and learning to grow your own food becomes a vital skill. Cultivating a garden, even a small one, can ensure a sustainable source of vegetables and grains, creating a cycle of production and consumption that helps sustain life. Additionally, survival skills like fishing, hunting, and foraging are fundamental. Learning to set traps, use improvised tools, and understand nature's patterns could mean the difference between life and death. You must learn to identify which plants are edible and which are poisonous, how to find and purify water, and how to preserve meat and fish to make them last longer. Knowledge, in this new world, is your most valuable asset. The remaining technology can also be adapted to improve your quality of life. Solar panels can be repurposed to generate basic energy, charging devices, providing light at night, or even powering small appliances. Rainwater collection systems can be created to ensure drinking water, using materials found in abandoned homes and stores. The ability to improvise with what's available will be crucial to ensuring you have the necessary resources to survive. Adaptation is key. What works today might not work tomorrow, and the environment around you will always be changing. Exploring new territories is more than a choice, it's a necessity. Staying on the move, exploring different areas, and constantly searching for resources like food, fuel, and useful materials increases your chances of finding something that can improve your survival. Each new place can bring a new opportunity or a new challenge, and being prepared to face the unknown becomes your greatest strength. Long-term survival depends on the ability to adapt and expand. Staying in the same place could be a death sentence when resources begin to run out. Exploring new territories is essential to ensure a continuous flow of supplies and opportunities. Moving beyond what is familiar, crossing boundaries, and finding new places to explore isn't just a choice, it's a matter of life and death. However, exploring unknown areas brings significant risks. Many structures, like abandoned buildings and factories, may be collapsing, posing dangers of collapse and hidden traps. The danger isn't just in the concrete but also in the wild animals that may have taken over empty urban areas. The chance of encountering predators lurking in abandoned places is high. And the greatest risk of all, the absence of supplies. Imagine walking for miles only to find a looted supermarket or a completely empty warehouse. This uncertainty turns every exploration into a gamble between survival and despair. But exploration can also lead to valuable discoveries. Places like abandoned libraries may hold essential knowledge for survival, from books on first aid and agriculture to manuals on engineering and wilderness survival. Supply stores, like tool shops and pharmacies, may contain essential equipment, medicines, and materials that could make the difference between living another day or succumbing to adversity. These key places become points of hope and opportunity. Each new area explored is a new chance to find something that could improve your living conditions. But you must always be prepared to face the challenges that come with the unknown. Having a plan, carrying the right supplies, and always having an escape route in mind are basic rules for any exploration. The world is now your playground, but it's also your greatest enemy. Keeping moving, learning, and adapting is what can ensure that you don't just survive but continue to live, one day at a time. Now that you've walked with us through this desolate world, the question remains, what would you do? How would you handle the weight of being the last person on Earth? What strategies would you adopt to survive? Would you be able to face the psychological, physical, and emotional challenges of this new reality? Think about it and share your thoughts in the comments. We want to know, what would be your plan? What actions would you take? But what if things were different? What if you weren't really the last person? Imagine that somewhere, someone else is also trying to survive. Would you find each other? How would that meeting be, relief or a new challenge? Or perhaps, what if someone unexpected showed up one day? How would that change your planning, your priorities, and even your hope? Tell me in the comments. And what if the world had ended, but not for everyone? Maybe the isolation and the feeling of being the last are just part of a new reality that is still unfolding. There could be hidden communities, secret societies, or even groups that survived in ways you'd never imagine. What would you do if you discovered that the post-apocalyptic world still has secrets to reveal? Think about this as you continue the journey of imagining the impossible. After all, surviving is not just about being alive, it's about finding purpose, hope, and maybe other survivors.